one of the many critical skills that you have to have in order to be successful in your career to get that next level paycheck is to network, right? And I have the same problem that a lot of people have. I am an introvert. If you've ever heard of Myers-Briggs scale, I am an INTP, introvert, intuitive, thinking, perceptive. That archetype is the absent-minded professor, right? So that's me. Before I get started, I wanted to speak to the woman who knows she's meant for more. If you've been stuck at the same level for too long, I created a leadership assessment test just for you. And it takes just about 3 minutes. And if you qualify, you'll unlock my $2,000 leadership advantage, including 4 weeks of coaching with me, access to our private WhatsApp community, and access to the tools to get you moving again. So start there, take the test, use the link below. And I'm always thinking about something else and not really listening to what you're saying. And I'd rather be by myself than be in a group of people and try to mingle. So it was really hard for me to turn into that person that could be a good worker or being able to effectively network. So this will sound trite, but I practiced. And it was, since it was not like me, I looked at it as I have to act like Academy Award winning presentation. And so when I tell them I'm a really, really high introvert, they say, oh, no, not you. You're extroverted. Oh, no. Don't let this fool you. I'd rather be somewhere else. I don't even like you right now. So that's how I feel. So, I, I got to the point where, look, I'm going to have to do it. So my girlfriend was in a small group at her church, and every so often she had to host them for a lunch. So I would make sure that I would attend those things because I didn't know anybody. And I would go to her little events and practice being an extrovert. So I developed a script like any good actress would do. How are you today? Where are you from? Do you have kids? Oh, that's nice. And where are they? Where do you live? Oh, Washington, D.C. Well, I am from Washington, D.C. too. What high school did you go to? Oh, you went to Coolidge High School? That was near where I lived. But I went to Wilson for a year and then I went to Duke Ellington School of the Arts. I had this script down really good. I make eye contact with them. Look, and maybe one of the hardest things to do is asking people questions and actually listening to what they have to say. That is a gift that the introvert does have, a good listener. So you can ask questions in good conversations and make a good connection with them because you're actually listening. And that is important. Funniest thing happens in our church every Sunday. We have, I think it's 2 minutes of networking. We just walk around and shake people's hands, give them a holy hug and things like that. Well, I sit in church, I sit with my girlfriend on this side and then my husband on this side. My husband is an extrovert. He is very good at it. So I'm going to just drift off subject for a second. When I have to network, I'll take him with me when I'm tired because he can do my networking for me. I can just stand by his side. Well, anyway, in that 2 minute portion of church, me and my girlfriend, us two extroverts, we're talking to each other. And we say, we hate this part of church, don't we? And we're like, yeah. So we talk to each other and find out what happened during the week. And I look, oh, my husband is clear on the other side of the church talking to somebody, or he's back there talking to somebody. He's just all over the place. And me and Stephanie, we haven't moved this much from where we were standing. That is how we do networking there. But I do extend myself. I will extend myself over the pew in front of me and over the pew behind me. I'll go back not just one pew, but two pews. And I'll make sure my circle is at least this big and I'm not just doing like this. So when you network, you have to enlarge your circle and make your circle just bigger than what you're used to. Extend out of your comfort zone and practice when you can. Another thing that helps in networking when you're an introvert like us is to practice, look at it like you're giving presentations. Practice giving those presentations and be good at it. Get comfortable at talking to people you don't know. Get comfortable with sharing ideas, listening, answering questions. Get comfortable with that. And the more you do it, the more comfortable you get. Let me pause here because I can feel someone listening who needs to hear this. If you're tired, if you're questioning yourself, if you've quietly stopped believing that your next level is possible, please take my leadership assessment test. I created it so women like you, women who are strong, resilient, and who are overlooked, you can finally understand what's blocking your growth. And if you qualify, you'll unlock my $2,000 leadership advantage. And I'll walk with you personally for 4 weeks. So go take the test. Give yourself permission to want more. So some of the things that you do to make a good presentation is to to make eye contact with people that you're talking to, right? Not staring them down, but making eye contact with them. So when you're talking to somebody or a group, you're actually looking at them. You talk to them and you actually listen to what they have to say or listen to questions that they ask and take it from there. One of those things I think is so funny is when you go through this, hey, how you doing? I'm fine. How are you? Good. Well, sometimes I'll answer the question, I'm fine, but I don't necessarily say, how are you? And I try to not be so robotic when I'm interacting with somebody, so I won't say it. The funny thing that happens is you don't say, how are you? But the person will say, I'm fine, thanks. That means they're answering a question you didn't even ask. I think that's hysterical. But you're not going to be that person. You're going to actually listen to what they have to say. And the goal is to not be robotic and have what's called a conversation with somebody. Your public speaking skills will come in handy, as I said. When you network and you're introvert, you have to realize that when you're networking, it's going to take a lot of energy from you. So if you're tired and you go into a working event, that might not be the best kind of scenario to do that. When I go in, I just feel like I just want somewhere to go somewhere and sit down and have something cold to drink because chances are I'm thirsty. Because I guess, stress response is a dry mouth. And so to when you have to realize that if you do have to go in and you're tired, you have to make sure that you're going to shore up a little bit, store up some energy, sit down a little bit before you go in and make sure that you're hydrated because you're going to go into a stressful situation and it might help. As I said earlier, one of the things I do is take my extrovert husband to me on some situations. One time we had to go to an event. It was a black tie. And not only did you have to network standing up for a couple of hours, I at least had to stand up in shoes that hurt my feet. And it was on a Friday. So it was, after a long week, after a long day. And I remember I was hungry and I went in and my husband and I was there. He's in his tux. He's enjoying life because he's networking. I'm hating life and hungry. So I get behind him and I'm hiding behind him actually. And between him and a pillar and I'm hiding, eating. And then he makes a move, and then somebody sees me, and they take a step toward me like that. My husband jumps out, and the guy says, "Oh no, no, no! I just wanted to say hi. That's all. I just wanted to say hi." So he knows how I am when I'm networking, and he knew how I felt that day. But the lesson learned here is if you have to go, make sure you rest up a little bit, maybe at least 15 minutes, so that you're prepared to go into your unnatural, introverted, extroverted mode. So I'm going to share my script because I said make sure that you have your script ready, right? So here I go. Hi, what's your name? Whoa, hi. My name is Linda. Where are you from? Whoa, okay. I'm from Washington, D.C. What school did you go to? You were in Maryland? What county? Silver Spring? Yeah. When I lived in DC, the area we lived in was in DC, next to DC. So what I try to do is ask questions, find some common ground, and make sure that I'm not asking questions too fast because it looks like an interrogation. And when you ask questions, actually listen to the answer. That would be helpful. Find that common ground and develop a follow-on question. If 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 you're from Washington D.C., so am I. Then what high school did you go to? That's naturally a question that people ask. Oh, I went to Duke Ellington School of the Arts. You went to Wilson? Oh, I went to Wilson for a year. That's interesting. What did I major in? I was a music major. Oh, yeah. I lived in Northwest DC. You lived in Northwest too? Oh, that's good. I used to live in Northeast when we were little, over there by the shrimp boat. So I have my little stick and I can do it very comfortably because I've practiced doing it. So, um, how do I network and how should you network as an introvert? Practice, practice. Before you go, I need to tell you something from my heart. You're not stuck because you're not capable. You're stuck because you've been doing it alone. There's an African proverb that says you can go fast alone or far together. And let's go far and let's go far together. So take my leadership assessment test and let it show what you haven't been able to say out loud. And if your results qualify you, I'll support you through your next step. And I'll support you with a $2,000 leadership advantage, access to our private WhatsApp community, and personal coaching. You deserve to rise. Start with a test. It's your moment.